I'm just gonna do the recording and see if he can add it later.
Okay. All right. It is 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order and we'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Gant?
Here.
Mr. Jefferson?
Here.
Mr. Sawyer?
Here.
Mr. Schoen?
Here.
Attorney Schwerd?
Here.
Lori Turtle here.
Thank you. Okay, first thing on the agenda is the approval of the regular meeting minutes from November 10th. Everyone has had a chance to review those. If there's no discussion, to have a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes from November 10th. So moved. Have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. Thank you. Next, we have our reports. First, is clerk treasurer. Oh, yep, I checked the wrong thing. Sorry. Keeping me in line. All right. Next, we have approval of the claims. Sorry. Everyone had a chance to review the claims. Is there any discussion? And if not, we have a motion to approve the claims November 11th through December 8th. So moved. Have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Have a second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Any opposed? Nobody opposed. That motion carries. Thank you. Now we have our reports. Clerk treasurer.
All right, so John Enzyme is on the Porter County Park Board, I guess you'd call it, for Porter County. And he has served for Porter County since, for many years. And he represents South County for Hebron and Kouts. He would like to continue. And I told him I would ask if any of you had an issue with it. If not, he would like to continue to do that.
I have.
I've got no problem with that. No.
The community crossing grant we got, I sent out an email for that. Everything's good with that. January, that will go out for bid. The process has to be, the bid has to be done and awarded by March 1st, so we're on track to do that.
Awesome.
Frontier has been asking to move forward. If you remember when they came before, we talked to them about not calling in 50 locates a day, and they did that. So I talked to them last week, and I asked them to come up with some sort of solution, idea that they could give us that they would not do that, short of only approving sections. That's kind of what Corey and I talked about earlier was, they want to do Coyote, letting them do Coyote, and that's it until they get through that, because what was happening was they were locating giant sections. They get stuck in one, and then they'd have to go back and locate a section, sometimes 2 and 3 times. So, like I said, bless you, we have been asking them this whole time not to do that, but we're in contact with them trying to work on that. And I'll let you know if they need to come before you guys again. That's what I told them. I said, I tell you, if you want to see them, I can do it, but Corey and I thought we'd try and work it out without having big meetings.
Do you have a contact person with those people?
Well, I have multiple, but they change all the time.
I know.
People leave all the time. So the guy that I am talking to now,
Is he local?
yes,
Oh.
he's in Valpo.
Oh, okay.
So far so good he agrees, but they agreed the last time also. So,
Okay.
and I'd like him to move forward. I don't want to hold anybody up,
Right,
but
right.
we also can't, Corey's got the same thing everywhere, and he can't keep up. And eventually they'll end up charging us for having to do those locates. And then we'll have to pass that fee on to them, and it just gets worse and worse, so. In your packet, I think I put a quote for John the painter again. I don't know what I did with mine, but he had an increase. Corey checked into the flooring. He was concerned about the painting of the flooring to make sure that it lasted. And they go in there so often that he was worried about the wear and tear. So they called Sherwin-Williams. The Sherwin-Williams rep came out and gave them a different product that is non-slip. It does cost more. It added about $1,200 to their quote. But he's very happy with this because they go in and out so much, they're afraid somebody's gonna fall, literally. So with your approval, they have not started there, but with your approval for that extra $1,200, they will continue.
So the new total is 58.
Yes,
25.
and that's also got baseboard included because they have to take the baseboard off and they'll put like ours, new baseboard.
Okay.
The weather doesn't affect?
No, I guess this stuff lasts like a lifetime.
Well, we don't need anybody slipping.
No,
So,
and he brought a sample in, but he didn't leave it. It's very gritty, I guess you'd say.
Okay. Is there anybody else have any comments, questions, or discussion on this quote from John the painter? All right, yeah, I think if we take some action there, it'd be good to put that stuff down so nobody slips. So do I have a motion to approve the quote from John the painter for $5,825 for the treatment plant flooring?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I also have the payment approvals for IHC, 2 of them that Adam sent over last minute today. And these have all been looked over by the engineer, all the quantities have been approved, I just need your approval to pay it.
Okay. Let's see, so this is for payment 4 and 5. Looks like. Okay. All right, so payment 4 is $218,123.80. Payment 5 is $227,766.30. Does anybody have any discussion on either of those or questions? Okay, and we'll probably do them individually. Do I have a motion to approve payment number 4?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. And then number 5 is next. Do I have a motion to approve payment number 5?
I'll make the motion.
Motion, have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you.
And that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Very short.
No report.
No report. Parks Department.
Parade went off last night without a hitch, right? Yeah. Thanks to the fire department and everybody that was in there. We have a new AED in Drazer Park on the building. The electric materials for that installation was supplied by Sandberg Electric here in Kouts. And we also have a new tree at Pensy Park, and that was donated by
Midwest Center.
Midwest Center, thank you. So, other than that, January and February and December will be quiet, and we can just take it until the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
April.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. All I heard was good things about the parade.
It was fun, it was a little chilly, but everybody that came really decorated their floats and/or trucks and/or tractors, so it was a
Yeah.
nice 15 minutes. of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Small town, small parade.
That's right, but
Good parade. So,
good.
yeah. All right. Thank you for everything you've been doing.
Thanks.
Really appreciate it. Police department.
Been pretty quiet. We had shop with cop today, got 12 kids. Majority of the department showed up. I think 3 out of 15 didn't show up because they were working, part-time officers and such in reserves. So everyone came out there. We had 2 SROs come out from the county, from the school that went with us too. So it was a good time. Kids had a good time. We were going to get enough funding to get them, each kid $200 worth of stuff, so they really blew right through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did the pizza wrapping, everything went fine without a hitch.
Yeah.
January, I'll be sending the first guy to the academy, and then April, I'll be sending the second person to the academy, because we're losing our people, so. But other than that, everything's going fine.
Okay. All right. Yeah, appreciate you setting up shop with the cops and getting it funded and making sure that continues. You know,
Good time.
it means a lot to the kids, so
Yes.
but I love it. Thank you. Building inspector.
Nothing.
Nothing. Stormwater management.
We have nothing. We did not have a meeting this month. We didn't have anything on the agenda. A little cold to be digging around.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Thank you. Fire department.
Everybody's doing good. Obviously, our new fire engine's officially in service, thanks to everybody that came out to that. I know you guys were well represented, so thank you to the town board members that were able to come and the ones that weren't, that reached out to me, I really truly appreciate it. Had a nice ceremony. We had a great time at the Christmas parade. Then afterwards, obviously, we got to stand on Mrs. Claus's firehouse and had tons of people, so it was really cool. Had a good time with that. I did a fire inspection at the new Bob's coffee shop here in town. Everything went pretty well there. And I've got 2 new firefighters going to the academy in January.
Cool. Cool. All right.
Oh, we have a fire contract, but I think that's coming up, so.
That'll be on there.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I appreciate your guys' participation in the parade and hosting Mr. and Mrs. Claus
Absolutely.
and all the kids and everything you guys have been doing. Excited to see the new truck out and about.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now we are on to old business. First thing we have under old business is ordinance 2025-10. It's an ordinance amending the town's traffic code and parking regulations. That was tabled last time for everybody to be able to review and have a chance to think on it. Is there any discussion on this? And so Patty's here, right? So have we been having some issues with the parking? Is that what's going on?
A lot of junk cars, a lot of people parking in their front yards. It's just starting to get like junky looking. So the more I'm driving around, the more I'm finding people literally parking in their front yards. People parking trailers just in their yard. And we're just trying to get things looking a little cleaner. It's making people hard to sell their houses when they're next door. So it's decreasing the value of the properties. So it really is affecting the community.
How are we notifying those folks?
Sending them notices in the mail, telling them the ordinance and the junk car one I can send a notice on because that's already in there as a code. So I've been doing that, and then if they don't comply, then I send them a fine. And then, other than that, there's not a whole lot we can do. People do comply and they get back to me. I mean, they're pretty responsive. But without having, another code to say, hey, you can't park in your front yard, there's not a whole lot I can do other than just say, we'd appreciate if you didn't. So that's kind of where I'm at. Most people comply, some people just
Don't care. Yeah. Get it.
So this is off the driveway in the grass, right? Or
in their
dirt?
front yards, in their
Okay.
side yards. And I've had trailers and that too, another issue, like they're just getting junky trailers and they're not plating them and they're just kind of sitting in the side yards and stuff.
And Blake, did you see the gravel was put back in?
I did.
So any gravel drive put in after this?
No, before this. If you already have your driveway as a gravel driveway right now, and your trailer is parked on a gravel driveway that you're storing, it's grandfathered in, I guess you'd call it.
Yeah.
But a gravel drive put in
Moving forward now.
moving forward?
Yeah. And we don't have, new construction doesn't, they all do concrete. So it's not really an issue. It's in the older sections, that's the
Yeah.
issue.
Right. Can you get a occupancy permit with a gravel driveway?
Honestly, I've never, since I've been the building inspector, I haven't had a new home that
Yeah.
had a gravel driveway. It's always, like 99% of the time it's concrete and the other 1% is pavement.
Yeah.
Nobody puts in a gravel driveway. You don't want to spend $400,000 on a house, put in a gravel driveway. I would say $50 for a gravel instead of concrete. But yeah, honestly, it's never happened to me since I've been, but I've only been here for 13 years now.
So what I've seen is some people at, say, my house and the neighbor's house, for example.
What usually happens is somebody gets a trailer and they put gravel down and put the trailer on top.
Sure.
That's what 90% it is percent.
Yeah. So from my understanding is that wouldn't be kosher anymore
I haven't read the
if
rule,
through this.
but that's my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, no gravel is what's in there. Nothing going forward, it would be gravel, it would just be concrete.
You would have to
So-
put in a concrete patio instead of a gravel patio.
If I already have a gravel driveway and I wanted to expand it,
You can keep what you have, right?
Yeah, I think if I recall correctly, Kouts is kind of unusual in that if you have something grandfathered, you can improve it.
Oh,
so if I wanted to widen it out
Yeah, and
more,
I think you can under your ordinance. Normally, you can't. You have
It depends.
grandfathered in, you can't change it, can't enlarge it. But from what I recall, Kouts allows you to do that.
I think if you said you had a trailer stored,
Mhm.
and if you wanted to improve your driveway or put more gravel in, I don't see why you couldn't do that.
Okay.
That would be the same.
Allows you.
And that still allows you.
Concrete.
Hmm?
The main part of your driveway is concrete.
Yeah, but the rest of it's all gravel, so if I can
But you can't put
expand onto
gravel,
that,
but yeah.
Yeah, I think, so like,
because I'm about to have 2 teenage daughters with vehicles, so
Yeah.
I need a bigger
and
driveway.
that's where I see
Yeah.
the issue, you
They're
know.
wide.
Teenage drivers, for example, we've got small driveways, and I'd rather have somebody put in a nice looking gravel pad or something than parking in the road and running up the edge of their yard. And I mean, before I put my gravel in, my side yard looked like a monster truck arena sometimes. That wasn't cool.
Mud and ruts.
I don't
I'm
know
not
how you would
opposed
word
to-
that.
I'm sorry?
I don't know how you would word that when you have a cement driveway and then adding the gravel to it. I don't know how that would.
Yeah, not even like a separate,
You already have it, so yours would stay.
right. It has really benefited us, and I don't want to prevent,
Not trying to
Somebody-
be rude, but I know you guys with teenagers are excited, but teenagers leave. You know, they're teenagers for 5 or 6 years,
Yeah.
and then they're gone, they hit the road, then you got gravel driveways. So
Yeah.
it doesn't, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I just enforce the rule, whatever the rule is, you guys make
Sure.
it matter to me.
yeah,
Well, most teenagers leave.
Yeah.
Chase's never gonna leave.
Correct. Your kid still lives at home.
and I agree, I don't want people parking just randomly in their yard
That's the
and
biggest
making a
thing.
mess. But I also think we should allow probably a gravel parking pad in a appropriate location.
Something that needs to be like approved, not just people throwing down gravel too.
Correct.
Like, yeah.
Right.
Is it worse having them parked in your own yard on gravel than parking on the street,
I don't know.
on grass and sidewalks?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that doesn't look very good either.
right.
It's kind of true.
And we don't need them to park on the streets this time of the year anyway.
No.
Yeah,
Must be parked in a hard surface, aren't you?
and I have a question, I've seen it. When there's more than 2 inches of snow, people are not supposed to be parking in
The
this.
rule is actually when it's forecast. So if they forecast 2 to 4, but we only get 1, technically they should still be off the road. Now, I don't know about Don, but I didn't call anybody Sunday, and I had cars everywhere.
Yeah,
But
So I want, can we put in language maybe that would include, either a pre-existing gravel drive, existing prior to whatever date this would go into effect, or a hard surface, and then, are we getting the hard surface definition? Are we making that? Or does that come from, like, building code, do we know?
That just comes with what was in the ordinance already. It does say gravel driveway or gravel area. To me, a gravel area would take up the space that you are parking your extra.
You got people that pull up the grass in the easement too and put gravel in, so technically they're not parking in their grass, but they pull their grass out of the front easement.
Right.
And fill it all in gravel.
Yeah, it depends on the area, really, because some have curbs, some don't.
Yeah.
Some streets can do the gravel in the parkway.
Either that or the plow trucks come through.
Pardon?
Either that or the plow trucks come through and feel like that.
we try. We try.
Well versed in that, sir. Here's your badge.
free edging service.
I think I would like to see gravel, crushed stone be included in the hard surface.
Now, how are you gonna itemize, how are you gonna make it different? Is the driveway gonna be different than the extra piece of gravel? Or are you gonna, how you gonna do that? Because I don't wanna have to gravel driveways on new homes. That seems ridiculous to me, so
Sure.
you gotta, if you're gonna word it, then you gotta word it so that you can't word it as driveway, because then we're gonna have gravel driveways all over town.
And are we gonna have gravel driveways extending all the way in front of their houses and then having cars after cars? And then is that gonna make it easier for people to continue parking in their yard? Just a thought.
We have a house that put gravel in their front yard without permission,
Yeah.
and are literally parking in their front yard. The problem with all of it is that then people try to sell their house and next door. They come in here and they complain because they can't sell their house because the house next door is parking in their front yard. And the real estate agent said, what are you gonna do about it? What can you do about it to get that to stop happening? We can't.
house right now that has probably 7 cars in the front yard,
Yeah.
and it's not a big yard.
Yeah.
So it's just getting tricky.
Yeah, I agree, you know, we don't want people parking in their grass and it, you know, just even putting a random parking pad in a weird spot in their yard. The problem is how do we regulate that in a fair and consistent way? And also, you know, address like what you said, you don't want people putting a driveway on
I mean, you're gonna
brand new
have to
construction.
specify parking area as opposed to driving.
Yeah.
And I personally think that they should have concrete or pavement brick. You know, if you can afford 17 junk cars and 3 junk trailers, you can afford a concrete pad, in my opinion.
But this hard surface only pertains to this section. It doesn't pertain to the building section of the town ordinance.
The driveways,
Yeah, is there a driveway?
Yes.
technically all I have is off-street parking.
Yeah, but my point being though, that when we say hard surface, it says for the purpose of this section. So,
You know, 99% of the people are gonna put in concrete anyway because they appreciate what they have. But the people that we're talking about, and everybody knows where these couple of junkyards are, they're not going to. They're just gonna put in, the one lady that Lori was talking about, they put in landscaping rock, so that, and then told me they were landscaping. Well, what am I supposed to do? That's what they did, and now they park on it. But, so everybody, there's always a loophole and there's always a catch, and somebody's gonna do it. So, and it's up to you guys.
Because it's a hard surface then, it's rock.
Yeah.
And so throw it in the front yard, park on it, because it's a hard surface labeled rock.
And call it landscaping.
But then you gotta go into the whole putting down,
Well, that one-
on the landscaping.
They actually covered the sidewalk and we.
Right, I know that, I know.
Yeah.
But there's nothing, we don't have anything right now to stop it, you know. That's what this was about. Well,
Yeah.
parking in your yard.
It's probably a little more tricky than just saying, yes, you can do it, or no, you can't.
Right.
I mean, if you're gonna make a rule, you're gonna have to be a little more specific. In my opinion.
Yeah. Let's be parked on a hard surface, okay.
Is there any kind of square footage thing that we can use?
We don't have one to my knowledge right now.
Driveways can only be 24 feet wide.
At the street.
So could we include maybe parked on a hard surface, you know, designed for parking vehicle or something like that, and then, or an approved parking pad,
But who is the approver? Me?
maybe?
See, I don't want to be.
Required.
Yeah, you
So
know,
it's not
Like
or.
that,
Yeah.
do in the front yard, you have to specify that too.
right. I'm just trying to think of different
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, you may want to get a committee going, try and come up with alternatives. Like, for instance, one of the questions, one, is you could say all new construction
Yeah.
cannot have gravel. That's pretty simple, because that doable stuff, they want to do it. But there's a lot of other questions, and it may not be a bad idea to just have an informal committee get together, and, you know, if you have a question, if I can answer it, I certainly will, but.
I think
Because
that's,
this is an issue in many communities, and there's never, ever an easy answer.
right. And I think that's probably the best route to go right now, would be to have a committee that would look into this and put some good thought into it and try to come up with something that's gonna address the problems you're seeing, but also be fair.
No, I don't want to be on the.
There's a cost involved, but one way, because I don't think it would happen a lot, but again, maybe it's unfair to people to have to do it, is you can't do it, but you can ask for a variance.
Yeah.
But, you know, certified mail's expensive these days.
Yeah.
Although you can go door to door and personally serve it, but no one wants to do that. So, yeah, I just think a lot of thought needs to be put into it.
I agree.
And you guys are more familiar with the actual issue, you know, because you have particular houses in mind that, you know, I'm not seeing. Work with you.
Has anybody asked these people?
Yeah,
Okay,
that doesn't mean they want to do it.
right, I understand.
Many times.
And they'll go out of their way to make sure that they don't have to.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's just
I'll give you an example. We have a guy who parks his junk cars on his property that doesn't have a house. And he refuses to move them. We don't have anything, he added it to this, but we don't have anything that says he can't. So to not do it, he hired an attorney to send us a letter saying to leave him alone.
Do we have anything currently that says vehicles parked anywhere on a property have to be currently registered?
Well, yes, that
Yes.
is true. Anything has to be registered.
Yeah, this gentleman did go out and register.
They're registered. It's just an unknown,
He
it's an empty
registered
lot.
them, not drive
Right.
them, and hired an attorney.
Okay.
Rather than just moving the vehicle.
Yeah.
He doesn't live there, obviously there's no house, but he just wanted to stick it to us,
Yeah.
and hence the whole going on to properties, an ordinance officer that I asked for research on because of that guy.
So what, I'm assuming that's a residentially zoned
Yes,
area,
yes.
and he's parking vehicles that are registered there.
Well, now they're registered because he didn't have a choice.
Yeah. So he's storing vehicles there, and would that be an a use that falls within the residential zoning? Just parking
Yeah.
Well, we don't
vehicles?
have anything that says he can't do it.
That's what, yeah. So that's,
That's what part of it is in here that, he can't do it anymore. If there's no house, there's no cars.
Right.
So that's what it says. Okay, that's another section.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're kind of, like I said, we're kind of tied. We don't have a lot that we can do.
Yeah, I didn't know if it could be addressed just through the current zoning.
I can't do anything about somebody parking in their front yard.
Right.
So if you make it, I guess if it's harder to do, then you won't have that issue. I wouldn't want to live next door to someone who's parking in their front yard.
Yeah.
May I ask you a question?
They're about town, so.
What about junk in their front yard? Like
Yeah,
stuff that's been there forever that looks just as bad as a junk car with the garage doors open?
That's another thing that,
I've been working on those things.
yeah,
Yeah, that and junk cars are what I've been writing citations for.
There's places in this town that hasn't had the garage door closed in 10 years.
yeah, it's out of control. That's what we're trying to change things a little at a time.
Baby steps.
I just was asking if there's that's just as bad as a junk car.
It's a nuisance, it is actually.
Has there been with, I guess, percentage of yard to driveway? And then and isn't there where you can be so many feet off of a lot line as well? Or a public sidewalk?
It's building coverage is what it is.
Building
right?
coverage is, I can't remember if it's 20 or 30%, but it doesn't include driveways. And driveways, we've always gone, driveways can go up to the property line. So, buildings cannot. Buildings have to.
Yeah.
Expedite, but driveways can go up to property lines. And public sidewalks, that's kind of a misnomer in Kouts. There's some public sidewalks, and some not, so.
Most people who have sidewalks own their own, have to repair their own and replace them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm whether the parking of unoccupied, like what the situation we're dealing with, whether that conforms with the current
That's correct.
residential use. Whether,
Well, there's a
residentially
resident
zoned.
there, so it doesn't.
Right, so is there a way to address it with current regulation, I guess is what I'm asking, or current zoning?
With what?
We've already tried to, that's what we tried to use, but there wasn't anything to do.
Yeah, it wasn't enough to like,
Okay.
There's a garage there.
Yeah, I'll take a look, drive by there. Okay, well, it certainly seems that this warrants additional discussion and input, I believe. I've never set up a committee, so is that something we do?
Just informally, you could say, hey, well, who wants to be on a committee and get together, and if it can't be more than 3,
Sure.
so it should be, I would say 2, and communicate with the others.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, I think, my opinion is that's the approach we should take. I don't know if anybody else disagrees or agrees or has any further input on this. And if so, let us know.
would you want that to, like, next month, kind of come back together and present something on that?
Yeah, I'd like to get a committee going and have, if you're interested in being a part of that and giving some input in that, and if we can put something else together and implement that into the amendment here, I think that's probably the best way forward. But it's something that I think everybody up here wants to take serious and address just in a good, solid way. And I think that's the way forward. So, is there any other discussion on this from anybody? Okay. If there's no other discussion, and if we don't have a motion to approve it as it is, I'd like to table this.
Sounds good.
Any input from a committee? No. All right. All right, next, ordinance 2025-11, it's an ordinance amending portions of the town code, chapter 93, animal regulations. We got that here, that was also tabled last time. If you're able to, Patty, give us, have you had some issues as well?
I've had a lot of issues with dogs.
Could you give us the,
Yeah, we've got at least 3 different situations going on right now with an overabundance of dog ownership. We've got one situation where the neighbors are, is kind of getting real volatile between them two, because there's dogs that literally are fighting each other all hours of the night. They're letting them out. They're starting to get to where they're kind of retaliating a little bit, like it's a bad situation. And this person's been talked to and given notice that it's a nuisance. I don't know if it's going to be resolved. Some people are saying it is, some it isn't. And then we've got another situation where people are boarding dogs, and that is becoming a problem. So, I mean, most towns have like a 4-dog, So and once again, it's something I can't enforce. I can say like, we want you to have 4 dogs, but like, there's nothing right now. So I need something to go in and say like, this is the code. I have to, you have to abide by it, because I can't really, I can't cite them or anything. I can give them a notice that it's a nuisance, but I can't say you can only have 4 dogs, because it's not in there right now. So it definitely, there's at least 3 situations going on like right now that are kind of getting rough.
yeah. And the boarding thing, that's in a residential area as well, right? Okay. So the way it reads here under the amendment would be, so we'll just start with kennel. Kennel shall include any premises where a person engages in the business of boarding, dog sitting, breeding, buying, selling, or training of animals, including any household or non-commercial establishment. properly registered and licensed kennels are only permitted in a commercial 3 district. Okay, that would be the amendment to that. So that's section 9303, it looks like. Then we had 9322, restriction on the number of dogs or cats permitted. No more than a total of 4 dogs or cats or combinations thereof, not to exceed 4 over the age of 4 months, shall be housed on any premises within the town. Okay. And then a new section, that would be 93.23, restriction on farm animals. No person shall keep any animal usually considered a farm animal, including and not limited to cows, cattle, calves, steers, horses, donkeys, asses, burro, mules, sheep, goats, llamas, alpacas, and ostriches, unless their property consists of a minimum of 5 acres. So that's how we have that written in here. So I have a question on 9322, number of dogs and cats. It says, so shall be housed on any premises within the town. So would that include like a kennel in a approved area and a non-residential? I guess commercial 3.
No, because C3 allows you to have a kennel already.
Okay. So any premises within the town.
You could add within, on any premises except a permitted commercial 3 district.
Okay. Permitted, maybe permitted kennel within a. I think that would be good language to add to that. So you said you've notified them that they're nuisances, right? And given that notification, is that a means to address, like, do you have a way to enforce that?
We've sent notices, we've fined this person, and they're just continually not complying.
Okay.
I've done everything I can to this point, and she's just being non-compliant.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I mean, we've been talking to the attorney about it, she's been talking, so we're kind of navigating that the best we can. I think the limitation of dogs will help, it's another thing that we can enforce at least. That we're doing what we can right now.
Yeah. I like to address things with regulations and rules that already exist if we have the ability to do so.
We've definitely done that to its fullest extent.
Yeah.
Any kind of regulation that this person has violated has been addressed.
Okay.
They've all been,
Yeah, and I guess my question would be, this would just be an additional,
it would be an addition, but it's also there's other things going on right now in the neighborhood. It's not just this, when it comes to the limitation of dogs, there's at least 2 other cases right now that I'm dealing with in regards to that. And it's becoming like some serious nuisances in the neighborhoods.
yeah.
Dogs getting out, the barking, and I've heard of one of the people saying that one of the dogs literally killed another dog because there's 6 dogs in the yard, and it's just getting, and without having the, saying the 4 dogs, like, I can say they're a nuisance, but then they're like, well, there's nothing to say, and I can have 7 dogs in my yard. So that's not just her, it's becoming like more people, so.
Yeah, I guess my concern would be there's probably, so we have a small number of people with more than 4 dogs or cats that are a problem compared to probably a larger number of people that may have more than 4 dogs or cats that are not a problem.
And when you look at, like, because I guess it was in there before,
Mhm.
I mean, she had, Lori had said that that was already in our codes, and then when they revised it, it didn't get put back in.
Okay.
And then when you look at, I mean, the majority of the areas in this area, that's pretty much everybody's is 4 dogs.
Yeah,
So it's not like we're asking anything different than most areas.
yeah.
It has been a problem where it would have been brought up. Like the dog boarding thing is definitely an issue right now, but then it's been like one after another with people saying, you know, there's the majority of these large amounts of dogs are just becoming a nuisance. They're getting out, they're harassing neighbors, they're barking, they're fighting, so.
What does it take to remove a dog or a pet?
It's up to them. I mean, like, it's their responsibility as dog owners to find homes to rehome them. You know what I mean? If it comes down to it, like if we have to call animal control, but that becomes very difficult
Mhm.
because they're not going to just come and remove a dog unless it's a local situation.
Right.
Is it a situation where they're commercially dog sitting?
There's one,
Mhm.
yes. And we have, I mean, it's all over Facebook, it's advertised, it's on Rover.
I see it every day. It's across the street from my house.
Yeah,
I see
and
the people pull up, drop dogs off, pick dogs up, all different sizes,
Okay.
from, I mean, a bull mastiff to a chihuahua.
Yeah.
The one dog that came out, they could literally step over the fence that they keep it in.
And they've been getting out and running the neighborhood. She doesn't have a good control on it. When the girl was boarding.
Yeah.
She doesn't have good control of them, and they get out and
She's
just run.
just a college girl.
But isn't that doing a business in a residential area?
Yeah,
Yes.
she's not supposed to, but we
Yes.
can't,
No.
we're having trouble stopping.
And we've asked her to apply for, you know, to get the business permits and all that, and she's not doing it. And you have to get permission from neighbors, and at this point, I'm not sure who's gonna be okay with that in the neighborhood. But we've asked her to come in and apply to get a business license, and she's not done that.
So once all this is put in place, then what do you do to stop her? What's our steps?
We're gonna have to, eventually take her to court. I mean, we have to.
Issue ordinance violation,
It's an ordinance.
fine,
Okay.
and then she'll pay that, take it to court.
Which we've already fined her a decent little amount, she's not paid it.
Because she does dogs and cats, I believe, there.
And she doesn't anything no
All of them, yeah.
yeah.
Because there's a few different things she's doing right now that we're finding for. It's not just the boarding, so. It's the
Yeah.
nuisance, it's the dogs being at large, it's the running a business without a permit.
I mean, it started almost as soon as they moved in too, because I noticed an influx of vehicles just all of a sudden, right after working hours, people coming in, and I was like, well, this is kind of weird.
Yeah,
And that's when I had brought it up to Lori originally, just to let me know.
Yeah.
yeah, you have to take her eventually. And she's not compliant.
Yeah.
I was face-to-face, had conversations with her, and she said she's gonna quit, and then she doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board with the kennel section. I guess I think there might be some people in town that maybe breed dogs here and there.
I think it's over 4 months old. If
Yeah.
they can still breed, that's not saying they can't.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the definition. Kennel shall include any premises where any person engages in the business of boarding, dog sitting, breeding, buying, selling, etc.
I didn't see the breeding
4
part, I
months
didn't
old.
write that at all, so I'm not really, for me, I'm not a big, I don't mind the breeding part.
Yeah.
But I didn't write that on there, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the 4 months old part would probably be
Yeah.
applicable in the event, maybe of an unplanned
Yep.
event.
I'm with you on that as well.
But the kennel definition includes in the business of breeding, so, the people that live by the school in that, I think, blue house, they used to have Goldens, they moved, but I think they bred Goldens there.
Yep.
And I don't think there was ever an issue
There was not.
there, and,
They always kept.
I don't wanna stop that kind of stuff.
I agree with you
know.
there, yeah.
Aren't most of these ordinance complaint oriented? Like, if I have 5 dogs, but the neighbors aren't bitching, I'm okay, right? You're not gonna come over and give me a ticket because
No.
if somebody
But
complains.
the problem is, once, Billy gets a ticket, he says, well, Orville's got 5 dogs, and I'm gonna call a complaint on him.
That's That's
You
all
know.
part of it, I mean,
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah,
that's what you
and
guys
I'm a big
do.
discretion person, but also, you know, how things go and how people can be.
There's two sides to that. I live by people who have 7 dogs.
Yeah.
Those dogs are outside barking, biting, chewing on each other, running around the yard, and the people don't clean up after them. So I can't go outside on my deck and sit because it smells
Yeah.
so bad out there.
Right.
There's actually 3 behind me that have more than 4 dogs.
Yeah.
I don't care if they have 100 dogs, as long as they clean it up and keep them quiet.
Yeah, which I would think that would be something that could be addressed with the current nuisance rule. It's probably frustrating to have to say over and over again, your dog is a nuisance, your dog is a nuisance, here's a ticket, here's a ticket. I do have a little trouble just saying, hey, you can only have 4 dogs or cats all together.
I think that would be fine.
If you check the communities, I'm sorry, if you check the communities around here, everyone has a limit on how
Yeah.
many
Yeah.
animals. Because
Can
they
we
get out
add-
of control.
Add language to the fact that are creating a nuisance. That would include bothering the neighbors, would it not?
Yeah.
We have a nuisance section, don't we?
We already have a nuisance.
Yeah, we
We
don't-
already have that, and that's what
They're
I've been
causing
like
a
going
nuisance.
off of, is that,
Yeah, I think if we added that language, I don't know if that would give us the ability, or maybe a little more ability to reach out to animal control and say, we have this ordinance in place that says if you have more animals than this that are being a nuisance, you can't have more than that. And I don't know if, you know, maybe they can use that as a means to
And
say,
enforce town ordinance.
right,
Government works out that down.
yeah, so.
okay.
So what you're
Basically,
saying
the only
is
thing
wrong.
we'd be doing then is just issuing an additional citation.
But it would be solid, 'cause we know they're boarding. I mean, whether you do the number of dogs, regardless to me, but the boarding, the business itself.
Yeah, no, I agree, yeah, boarding, I think we should address,
We
you know,
definitely
right
have a
away.
cost for that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
she's just disregarding, but, you know, we've been holding off on tickets, we'll do a ticket, our tickets for the different things we have, so she'll write 2 or 3 tickets for different things.
Yeah.
Then we have to wait 14 days, and on day 15, if they haven't complied, you know, if we start doing it every single day, we did that with another, out here, we rolled like 500 tickets, and we went to court, and it was like diddly squat, done, so.
Yeah,
Trying to do it measured, but the business itself is the problem.
okay. So I think, I like the kennel thing minus the breeding, if we can remove breeding from that,
And we stick
I'm
with
good
that
with
4
kennel
month
myself.
and younger, you know, and the 4 month and younger thing, I think if we leave that in there, that'll help too.
Yeah, that,
Because you don't want an overpopulation of like people breeding their dogs when they're having a pup, because then they're hard to sell sometimes, and then you're left with 10 dogs, and then you're.
Sure.
So that's where it gets tricky too, we just don't want it.
yeah, no, I agree with that part. I like the 4 months and younger. And then I liked what John said about adding the nuisance language to the number.
So it's more.
It's a tool that you can use if they're-
Guideline. Yeah.
I like that. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that?
I think that's pretty good.
Okay. That brings us to 93.23, the farm animal part. Have we got any farm animals running around?
I know that got brought up because there was some people saying they wanted to get some goats
Yeah.
and things, and
Yeah.
they just have like a regular size yard, and
Yeah.
it's like, that doesn't
Goats
sound
screaming?
good.
Yeah.
That might be an issue.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
That would be near your house, Mr. Camp. So you're clear where the goats are seeking house, yes.
Yeah.
I know people like have pet pigs and stuff, you know, like, so I'm glad that wasn't added in there, because I know people do have, you know, but I think having a, for the bigger animals, livestock kind of animals, we need more room, so I think it's smart. Chickens don't seem to be a problem, so I'm, you know, they seem to be
Yeah,
okay so far.
yeah, chicken ordinances, people seem to be happy with that.
And that's completely separate of all this?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
You shouldn't have farm animals in town. If you want to have farm animals, move to the darn
Yeah,
country.
I
I mean, I don't
understand.
see any reason to have farm animals in town. Am I just stupid here?
Horses, donkeys.
Want 3 or 4 cows and go out and buy and live in the country.
I would really like an ostrich. See, no person.
Careful what you wish for, you can get them on Amazon.
Yeah. Including but not limited to cows, cows, cows.
I think it's all covered. The minimum 5 acres looks good to me.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get 5 acre parcels in town.
I was gonna ask, is there even any in the town that are acres?
I don't think so. Okay.
I don't think so.
Also, was about 5 lots on purpose,
I was
just to
gonna
get around
say,
it.
cousin houses now.
We don't have like any like homestead type stuff going on.
No.
Okay. I'm not surprised. Cow. Considered a farm animal.
Yes, considered.
Do you have like experience with the mini pigs at all? Yeah. Okay.
I have some.
Yeah.
That's one.
So I guess would that be considered more of like a
I
domesticated
was just
pet
gonna
type
say-
animal? Not,
Mhm.
okay.
I mean, yeah, the mini pigs and stuff are fine. Even some of the bigger pigs are fine, I mean, honestly.
Yeah,
But it goes back to like, as long as there's not 20 of them,
sure.
you know.
Yeah.
Shouldn't regular pigs be added to that section?
That's what I'm thinking.
I think probably, yeah, if we're gonna do that, 'cause I mean,
Because pigs are livestock too.
but I've seen the people get the mini pigs that they think are mini pigs turn into the big pigs,
Yeah.
but they're awesome. They're running around their house and on the couch, and, you know, how
I know.
do we control that? You
I
know?
know, I
But again, isn't it complaint oriented?
Right,
If the
I
neighbors are
agree,
interested, you
I
write a
agree.
ticket. If they're not, then you leave them alone.
I agree.
See the problem.
Okay,
That's a lot.
But
Yeah.
sometimes people just, they may be a great pet and they see the pig and they're like, we don't want them to
That's-
have a pig.
They have a pig. They have to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, let pigs out because people do have.
Yeah,
okay.
But
I agree, and we're not gonna have somebody that sets up 20 pigs in their backyard, and if we do, we'll write them a nuisance ticket.
Yep.
Okay.
Snakes are in another section.
Yeah, okay.
We have a whole list of things you can do.
Yeah, dangerous reptiles. Okay, I think I'm good with the farm animal part as it is after we've discussed and got a little better understanding. Does everybody else feel?
Yep, good.
that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we want to make those changes and then consider it, or can we consider it now
With those changes.
with those changes?
you can consider it with the changes and
Okay.
instruct me to
Okay.
include the.
That way Patty can get to
Well,
moving on.
I think you mean first reading and then second
Yeah,
reading
okay.
next month.
How do we we're gonna create these ordinances, but if they're not complying now, how do we make them feel it? I guess that's my point.
That's kind of his deal. We need to go move forward and if they're not paying it now, we're gonna have to take them forward to that girl anyway, to the person we talked
Yeah.
about. And she needs to, I think we're at that point where
Yep, we need this so we've got something to stand on.
it would help.
That's against town ordinance.
And it will prevent future ones, because just in this particular case, this lady had called Lori when they first moved to town asking about it. So she knew right off the bat you couldn't do it, and she did it anyways,
Yeah.
because there was nothing against it. Other than we saying you can't run a business out of town,
Yeah.
which is a very tricky ordinance by itself, so. that's not a path you want to go down. We've been on that path many times.
Yeah. Okay, so if we're gonna call this our first reading, then we need to remove the breeding portion from kennel, and then add, let's see, premises, so no more than a total of 4 dogs or cats or combinations thereof, not to exceed 4 over the age of 4 months, shall be housed on any premises in the town,
Except,
except
No, because.
in a licensed kennel within a commercial 3 district,
and then you also,
and then the nuisance
you
portion.
got to add the language under kennel, causing a nuisance.
If they're over.
Is that what you wanted? That's what
I wanted it in, I think we wanted it in the restriction on the number of dogs or cats that are, so,
Oh, okay.
that are causing a nuisance.
Yeah. Yeah, he's.
Is that right?
Okay, I'm glad you clarified that.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We just want to clarify, so when you're taking the breeding out, but you're leaving in any dog over 4 months after the 4 dogs.
So make sure this sticker doesn't say I'm breeding 17 dogs.
Right.
I-
That, yeah,
That
so,
will be eliminated by the 4-month rule.
right, the restriction on the number of dogs or cats permitted, so it would read something like, no more than a total of 4 dogs or cats or combinations thereof, not to exceed 4 over the age of 4 months, shall be housed on any premises within the town, except a licensed kennel within a commercial 3 district. And then I want to include, and also some language, let's see. We need to include some nuisance language
Right.
in that.
Because we want it to be a guideline, right? Like, it's kind of a guideline that, yeah.
Yeah, so however the best way to word it there is how we,
Under,
9322,
yeah, okay, mark that, yes.
okay? Yeah, I think if we can write it that way, then then we can read it again
Yeah,
at
I'll
the
get
next,
everyone.
next
ahead of
meeting.
time.
Okay? And then, yeah, whenever you get it, you can send it out and we'll look at it.
Yeah, and if you have comments or more, because you can amend it until the second reading's approved.
Yeah.
So, this isn't, if we can add more, take away.
Does not limited to include any other animals that's not listed there in the restriction?
Yeah, so let's say it becomes popular to have giraffes. It's included, so it's not limited to. It's just,
Considered farm.
you're trying to be somewhat general.
Yeah,
It's too cold.
okay.
Big deal.
All right. So given our changes that we've discussed and tried to narrate here, would that be our first reading then?
This tonight's first reading.
Okay. All right. All right, do we need to do anything else with this then?
No.
Okay. Is there any other discussion on this, guys?
No.
Any other input from you right now? You're the expert.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right, so that first reading of that is done. That was good, solid discussion, I like it. Okay, we've made it through that. Next, we have new business. It's an ordinance, so ordinance 2025-12, it's an ordinance establishing salaries for town employees for 2026. So, let's Nori, you said you were able to make it happen for, what did you say, 4% across the board there? Okay. Does anyone have any discussion on ordinance 2025-12? And we would need to take probably a roll call to pass this on first reading.
Yes,
We want to do that?
yes.
All right. If there's no discussion, is there a motion
To suspend the rules.
to suspend the rules? Take a roll call vote to pass.
Yeah, so you need someone to make the motion, someone second, and then a verbal.
Yes. So is there a motion to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Don't do a roll call.
Mr. Brock?
Yes.
Mr. Gant?
Yes.
Mr. Jefferson?
Yes.
Mr. Salyer?
Yes.
Mr. Schoen?
Yes.
Okay, the motion to suspend the rules has passed. Next, do we have a motion to adopt or approve ordinance 2025-12?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Okay, next we have the 2026 fire contract. I believe that's, everything's the same as it's been. No changes there. Does anyone have any discussion, or do you have any comments or any?
No, not right now.
All right,
We have no animals.
no animals?
Vehicles are parked on concrete.
Dalmatian?
We have one Dalmatian that's in concrete, one that's at.
Okay. All
But he's
right,
parked on concrete.
Doesn't bark.
Is he on gravel?
Yeah, doesn't bark.
okay. Is there any discussion on the fire contract? If there is no discussion, do I have a motion to,
I move so.
I'll second.
motion and second to approve the 2026 fire contract? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Next, we have two board appointments to the BZA. We have Kevin Sellier and Jonathan Hackett. These are positions that are to be appointed by the council president. We all know Kevin pretty well. I think everybody up here does. Is there any discussion on Kevin from anyone?
I think he would be a great addition to the BZA.
All right. I agree. So I will move, or I will, as council president, appoint Kevin Sellier to BZA. And then Jonathan Hackett. So this is Jonathan Hackett he does some work for the town, painting, that kind of stuff. I do not know him very well. I did have a chance to talk with him. Seems like a nice guy, seems interested in serving the community in some fashion, and this is an opportunity that he expressed an interest in. Does anyone else know him or have any discussion?
I do not know him.
Do not know him. Okay. So that, as president too, I want to consider everyone's input into who we appoint or who I appoint. Does anyone want to or have an interest in reaching out to him themselves to have a discussion with him?
I think that we should.
Okay.
I would gladly do that.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't personally know him, but I would like everybody to have a chance to talk with him and feel him out and see what his interests are and his thoughts are prior to making that appointment. We have his contact information here on the application, so if you guys that are interested, take some time and reach out to him and just maybe have a chat, discussion,
Sure.
feel him out. And then we can, or I I can consider at the next meeting, based on feedback.
Yep.
Okay? All right, so I'll table that. All right, anything else from anyone out there? Yes, sir.
Ernie Schwer, did we get anything on the ordinance officer definitions?
No, be honest with you, it's, I can have a phone conversation, going through cases and giving advice. I'll get something to you, but I just haven't made it a priority. I hate that it's got to be done. I'm frustrated because I think I mentioned at the last meeting that some other communities immediately contacted me, we'll get you all the information. Didn't, I followed up and no contact.
Right.
And I'll get something.
I just want Penny protected is all.
Yeah.
You dealt with Cordell Hood, we have some other people in town that
Yeah.
are litigious to say the least, and I just want her protected.
Yeah, I understand that. I'll get to it.
Anything else from anyone? Anything from you? You're just here for the show.
Here for the show.
There you go. I appreciate it. Yeah. All right, if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn? So move. Second? All in favor? Aye. All right, thank you.
We've got extras here.
How long? 1 hour.
So long my watch died.